My name is Joni Urkala, and I am a volunteer with the Amic Ice Rink Project. I grew up at the rink, spent a lot of time there when I was a kid, and now my kids are of the age where they are able to enjoy it as well. And so one night we were there picking up our boy. He had just played hockey with some of his friends, and a few of us parents were talking about how bad it had gotten. The boards around the rink were really in poor condition. We were talking about how, something needs to be done. And John Sema, one of the other project volunteers, had said, we need to do something here. And I said, yeah, I agree. He said, no, we need to do something here. So that's when we kind of really committed to wanting to make a change. And so, I thought we have to probably raise $10,000 or $20,000, no big deal. And so when John got the quote back from the vendor and it was for $100,000, we knew we had our work cut out for us. So we started, shortly after that conversation, we started talking about how we would raise all that money. I had applied for a couple of grants, and our first that we were awarded were through the Keweenaw Community Foundation. And after that, I had met with Robin Meneguzzo, the executive director there, and we just had coffee and were kind of brainstorming other possible resources for funding. And she mentioned that the Keweenaw Community Foundation could possibly do a special project fund for us, which is really when it kind of took off. I would say it has definitely brought life back to that rink. We've been there now several times this year, and just to see the number of kids and how beautiful the facility is now, it's just amazing. When we knew that we had to raise $100,000, I thought it might be impossible, but just so cool that we were able to make it happen. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that do little things or big things all the time, and people might not know about it, and so it's just a good way to get the word out about all of the good work that's being done, but then also, maybe inspire someone to see a need and try to go after it and see if we can fill a gap. So hopefully it has that snowball effect where people want to get involved and know that big things are possible if you put some time into it.
My name's Kurt Webb. I am the general manager at the Keweenaw Cooperative in Hancock, Michigan. We relocated our store from 1035 Ethel in Hancock down to 610 Quincy. We needed more space, and we wanted to better serve our community with more offerings, a better shopping experience, ease of parking and access, and other advantages for the co-op is just the visibility that we have from being on the main street in downtown. And also we wanted to be a presence in the downtown as well. We were feeling like we couldn't do any more out of this space where we were, and we also felt that space was holding us back. And so we really sharpened our focus on making a relocation happen. It was a big project, and for an organization our size to be able to pull that off definitely took some time just to pull together all the pieces we needed to, in terms of planning, in terms of financing, all of those. We see a lot more folks coming through our door, and we see a lot of folks that we didn't see coming through our door before. So I think, our old store, maybe I can use the word, was a little funky in its way, and that was a good thing. Lots of people love that, and lots of people, including myself, miss elements of that. But at the same time, I think having a little more conventional offering just makes us more welcoming to a broader swath of our community. So there have been a number of times along the way when we felt the community supporting the direction that we were headed. One, when we raised almost $1 million from community investments. Another, when We received a number of grants in support of the project based on what we were doing in the community and for the community. The response when we opened the doors and some celebrations that we've had since then in the store, just the excitement and positive responses from the community. So I feel like this award sort of tops off that list of recognition and appreciation for the effort that we did and what we were able to achieve together.
My name is Jennifer Jennings-Schad. I was co-chair with Rachel for the Upper Peninsula Accessibility Summit, and we co-chaired the Accessible Keweenaw Initiative. I also am the president of Equipment Loans of the Keweenaw.
My name is Rachel Presley, and I was the co-chair for the UP Accessibility Summit. I'm also the planning director for the Western UP Planning and Development Region.
We started the Accessible Keweenaw Initiative, and as part of that, we worked with Superior Alliance for Independent Living to assess recreation sites in the Keweenaw. And at the end of that, we realized that there were opportunities to continue the conversation around accessibility. So Rachel and I met and said, wouldn't it be great if we had some sort of summit to discuss accessibility?
We also approached the Keweenaw Community Foundation in order to apply for their Joe Freed Empowerment Fund grant in order to be the major funder for the UP Accessibility Summit. The summit was a 2-day event that was held at the Rose Center. It hosted panels and 2 keynote speakers.
One of the things that I was really touched by was a community member coming to me and saying, I came to hear Kaylin Partlow speak, and it changed how I think about autism, and that affects my family and my grandson, and how I interact with him, and my understanding of the best ways to do that, have that interaction, and knowing that we had an impact on a family was incredible.
We see communities applying for grants for increasing accessibility for their facilities. We see people asking about how spaces can be more accessible for disabled people. And so it has definitely impacted and leveled up the conversation in our community, which is very exciting.
I think that it's impactful in 2 ways. One, because I guess everybody feels good when the work is recognized. But also I think it helps continue the conversation about accessibility. And I think that's what means the most to me, is that while this project, the culminating event was in the fall, we're still talking about it today, which means that hopefully we'll continue to talk about it in the future.